Good morning or good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the graveyard. And as always, I'm Joe Graves. Today, we're going to do a little react kind of thing to the Ask Reddit page on, on Reddit. Specifically, the specific post that says, "What is an unsettling fact?" So, I could only imagine there's going to be some sarcasm in here and some facts that probably didn't know and a lot of facts that probably aren't true. But either way, let's get into this. So the very first thing, eventually you will be forgotten and technically nothing you care about matters. Okay. You could think about these, but there's no point. You are a human. It's good to care about human things. Okay, so you started off very dark, and then you went, hey, but think about human things. Okay, yeah. Oh, no. Not a bad day if I'm dead. Oh, I have a really twisted sense of humor with that kind of stuff. Sorry. Okay, let's move on. There was research to see how many people have microplastics in their blood, and it failed because they couldn't find a sample of people without plastic in their blood. Oh. Yikes. So I think I've heard something like this before that, like, because of how much plastics are used nowadays, it's almost impossible to avoid using plastics in some respect. But we move. There's stars and sky underneath you right now. Okay. And we're all clinging to a muddy rock that's hurtling around a giant burning ball of gas at 67,000 miles per hour. And apparently this person just has nothing to say. Fair enough. Yeah, that, you know, those, when you hear something from somebody and you're just like, you know, I could have gone my whole life without knowing that. This is one of those things, because I could have gone my whole life without realizing or even thinking about the fact that there's stars and sky underneath me. But now there's going to be those random times in the middle of the night where I just sit there and I'm like, there's stars in the sky underneath me. Everyone has 2 minutes to live, but the timer resets each time you inhale. Oh, it's breathing. Isn't the world record like, oh, yeah. The record for somebody holding their breath is 24 minutes and 37 seconds. Even in our universe, even if, okay. I can read. I promise I can read. Even if our universe was indeed a simulation, nothing would change. Well, it's true. There's some fact to that. The idea of affecting change or creating change, a lot of times if people think they're creating a change, they get rich and famous and they stop influencing change. Because they get a nice little house in the middle of nowhere where they're not affecting anything. And they move on with their lives like everybody else. So indeed, I do believe, even if our life was a simulation, nothing would change. We will all die someday relatively soon. I feel like you're trying to hint at something there. But yes, relatively in time, there have been, you know, depending on what you believe in, there's been more than 2,000 years of this planet, and we can only live, you know, maximum 100-ish right now. So yeah, relatively speaking, with time, yes, we'll die relatively soon. But everybody's got a lot of time, and there's a lot you can do with the time. Even if you feel like you've wasted it, there's a lot you can do, even in a short amount of time. In the 1800s, a lot of dentures were made using the teeth of dead soldiers. That is actually a fact. If you look it up, that is 100% true. due to all of the wars and fighting throughout the years. Early denture and early dental practices a lot of times involve taking the teeth out of dead soldiers. That is true. Every time you go swimming in fresh water, there's a risk of a brain-eating amoeba swimming up your nose. Well, I guess it's good to get the nose plugs then. It occurs in warm, natural fresh water, such as lakes and rivers, but there is also a risk in water parks, etc., that are poorly maintained. 90% of the time, it is fatal. Oh, that's great. Another brain-eating thing that I now have to think about every single time I go swimming. When filming Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory in Germany in 1970, they had trouble casting Oompa Loompas, as Germans born with disabilities were simply killed by the Nazis in World War II. Fact. True. Because of who the Nazis were, they killed anything that wasn't the perfect human being in their light. Yeah. Wrong, but they did. If you are a certain distance from a nuclear explosion, you won't be killed immediately, but instead you'll get third-degree burns throughout your entire body. This kills your nerves so fast that it's completely painless. I have heard something like that. And believe it or not, random fact about video games. The Fallout TV series, the Pip-Boy, you always see him holding his thumb out with one eye closed. That thumb right there was a particular way of quickly measuring in a nuclear blast if you were far enough away to survive, or far enough away to get away from the nuclear fallout from it. So if you held out your finger, your arm straight out, thumb straight up, and put the base of your thumb at the base of the explosion, and the mushroom cloud was over the top of your thumb, you're dead. Or you're gonna die. If it's below, you have time to get away. So that's why the Pip-Boy is holding up his thumb and holding it out in front of his face. One day, you and all of your childhood friends went out to play for the last time, and none of you realized. Yeah. I thought about this before, and, obviously I've seen the fact before. And I imagine it's probably in this thread more than once. But the one that I see the most is one day you and your friends will be in the Discord call for the last time, and none of you know when that will be. There's a lot to that, and obviously that can be expanded to so many different situations. The last time you go to a restaurant with your best friend, the last time you talk to said person. But what that leads me to is whatever you're doing or wherever you're going and the people that you meet along the way, just be kind. And whatever the last thing that you say to them or the last time you talk with anybody, and it could be anyone, even if you're just in passing, you say hello to somebody. That's nice. It's better than staring at them blankly. Just be kind and cognizant that nothing is finite, and it could be the last time you talk to that person. So overuse I love you, and be kind to people. You may never know if you've gone insane. Well, I don't think I've gone insane yet. Okay. Shakira's hips claim to tell no lie despite not having the ability to speak. Bob sounds like a dick. Oh, okay. All right. Cool. In average, a human eats 7 spiders while asleep. Not like tarantulas, but just small spiders. I'm afraid of spiders. Okay. People tortured by the cartel are unrecognizable. Okay. There are little... Why are we on a spider kick? There are little arachnids that live in the pores of your face. Virtually everyone has them. Huh? I don't like that. Times by 0 equals 0. Yeah. Divide by 0 is undefined. Okay. Two possibilities exist. Either we are alone in the universe, or we are not. Both are equally terrifying. Fact. Very, very true. Well, that's going to do it today for this Reddit thread. It's some pretty interesting, unsettling things. I'm now going to go wash my face like 7 times because of the little arachnids that live in my pores. However, if you like this content and you would like to see more or have a suggestion of a Reddit thread that I can read through and not be absolutely destroyed by YouTube, let me know. But if you would like to see more of this content, remember to like and subscribe and comment down below for some more. But before you go, always remember, you deserve to be loved. Have a good day. Peace.